Hello, this is Mike Wade, Chief Options Strategist for Tom Gentile, and welcome to this Tom's Trading Room video. Stock and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risks. You must be aware of these risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the stock and options market. Don't trade money you cannot afford to lose. I'm not giving you any recommendations whatsoever. Please don't construe anything that I'm about to share with you as advice. I am not a broker nor a dealer. I'm a trader just like you and an educator. And everything I'm about to share with you is for educational purposes only. All prices are in US dollars unless noted otherwise. I have a proposition for you. If I drew two lines on this chart, this happens to be the British pound, the ETF that tracks the British pound. Would you be interested in a trade that makes money in this green area here? I'm just going to shade it. How would you feel about making money as long as the stock stays in this green zone, this profit zone, below this green line and above this green line? And you look back over history over the last year, this stock has lived in this profit zone, and certainly over the last couple of months it has as well. So what I'm talking about is something called the Iron Condor. All right, the Iron Condor is a very popular trade. It's a little bit advanced, so I want to cover that today. So here's what we're going to talk about in this video. High probability trading with Iron Condors using Tom's Condor Finder. So first thing we'll cover is the Iron Condor basics. What are they? How do you make them? How do they work? And then I want to get into the searcher and find great Iron Condors. I want to talk to you about using ETFs, REITs, and trusts that don't have earnings announcements. So we'll cover that. And then I want to talk to you about entering and exiting these beautiful high probability trades. So back to our little profit zone example. So how do I affect this? How do I create a trade that makes money in this zone? This strategy has two parts, two credit spreads. We put a credit spread up top called a bear call spread. That's a bearish trade that makes money anywhere below, let's call it 131. And then we have a bullish credit spread called a bull put spread that makes money anywhere above 21. Put the two together and you've got a trade that makes money in this green zone. The ideal would be that both of these spreads expire worthless, and that will happen at expiration provided the stock is between the credit spreads. So how do you construct these credit spreads? A bear call spread is constructed by selling the lower strike call, buying the higher strike call. In this case, we're selling the 131 call that corresponds to this line here, and then we're buying the next higher strike call, the 132 call, which is the next strike price up. And then down below, we're selling the 121 put. Again, that's right at this lower line. And then we're buying the 120 put beneath. Those are two credit spreads. We place this order as a single order, as an Iron Condor, for a net credit. So we're going to get paid to put on this trade, and ideally this trade that, let's say, we sold for 50 cents is worthless at expiration. That will occur provided the stock is in the profit zone. So welcome to the world of Iron Condors, really super high probability setups. Let's hop into Tom's tools and find some really great Iron Condors using Tom's Condor Ranker. To demonstrate the power of this strategy, I'm going to do some back testing. I've back tested myself to April the 1st, 2019. So first off, I want to go into the searcher. So I'm going to go into searchers, single strategy, and then Condor. And that takes me here. As you can see in the wizard here, there's plenty of different types of at-the-money Iron Condors and other types of Condors. So this is a very powerful scanner indeed. If you want to know more about these other types of Iron Condors, click the help button and that'll give you all you can eat. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and run this using at-the-money Iron Condors. I've selected that already. And I'm going to come down here and use ETFs, REITs, and trusts. Why would I do that? Well, ETFs, REITs, and trusts don't have earnings announcements which can move the stock out of the profit zone. All right, so they're safer. There's not the risk of us stepping on an earnings landmine and having the stock bounce outside of the profit zone and create a loss. All right, I'm going to hit the search button, and these are the results that have come back. You can see here that we have a really very valuable output list that shows the stock closing price, the strike prices for the Iron Condor, expiration date, the bid-ask spread, the volume. I'm not going to read all of these. I'm going to focus right here, though. These are the columns you really want to keep your eye on. Probability between the break-evens. Now, I've sorted this by that. You can sort by anything you want by clicking the column header. I want to see the highest probabilities on the top. And then the next thing I do is I scan down until I see 1 percentage point a day. Now, how many days are these iron condors? Well, you can see here, these are 11-day iron condors. All right. Some of them are a little bit longer. We have 17 days. We have 25 days. Make sure you get at least 1% of potential profit per day in the trade. So basically what I'm saying is make sure that maximum profit over max loss is greater than or equal to days to expire. So imagine this on this one on gold. I can make 14% over the next 11 days and do so with 85% probability of profit. Let's take a look at the risk graph. Click any of these legs here. That'll take you right to the risk graph. Here's what we're looking at. We have this beautiful iron condor that captures, again, we're April 1st, so it captures the last 30 days. Actually, the last, all the way back to here was the last time the stock was outside of this break even. If the stock stays in this profit zone here, designated by these light blue lines, then I'm going to make money as time passes. All right. One of the things to note about iron condors is that the amount of entry credit, that's what we sold it for, and the amount of risk, this is how much you could lose if it goes wrong, is in a ratio that's not favorable in terms of loss. All right, so we can basically make 12 and risk 88. Well, why would you do that? Well, the probability of this happening, let's go back to the finder, is 85%. So I've got an 85% chance of making 13.64%. So before you get into any trade, it's important to know what your exits are. I'm going to make it really simple for you. If the stock closes above the short call, in this case 124.50, then exit the trade. Or if the stock closes beneath the short put, also exit the trade. Another way to see it is if the stock closes outside of the profit zone designated by these break-even lines, then close down the trade. And if you do that, you're just not going to lose that much. One of the benefits of using iron condors, when you're wrong, you're going to lose just a little bit, provided the stock doesn't gap outside of the range. Let's take a look and see how this trade actually performed. Remember, it was an 11-day trade with expiration on 4/12. You can see that right here in the risk graph. So I'm going to take us to 4/12, and you can see here that this entire thing was in max profit. All right, so our entry credit was 12, our current profit was 12. That's per contract. Of course, I can do many more than 12 contracts. A quick look at the risk graph below here, and you can see that the profit is at max profit. That's the maximum profit we can get. You'll also notice that all the options are worthless, all zero by 0.01. Let the whole thing expire, nothing to do, and you've captured your 13.64% profit in a mere 11 days. That's over 1% profit a day with an 85% probability of making it. So in summary, we went to Tom's Condor Searcher. First thing you do is select ETFs, REITs, and trusts for stock lists. Remember, we're doing that to avoid any earnings surprises and gapping stocks. The next thing you do is select At the Money Iron Condor. Consider using these other ones after you've studied the help file. Click search and then move through the search results just as I indicated in the video. All right, that's a wrap for Condors. Have fun with them, and I'll see you next time.